Ismail Abdi from Namanga.
We are Zomo Edwin from the Chocolate City, Kibra. Humphrey Wanyonyi from Bungoma.
Thomas from Nairobi, Kibera.
Get right from Kakamega.
Grace from Mumbai.
Kamutuma from Muruna.
Sydney from China. Sophia Abdallah from Adamo, Nairobi.
Mansur Kibera.
Okay.
Risha from Kibera.
Marine Masari from Mary. Christy from Namanga. Millicent from Babadog.
Peter from Kakamega.
Founders of Damietta.
What is Damietta?
What is Damietta? Countries where Damietta work.
Where did Damietta start from?
Where did it start? Where did it exist from?
The founders of Damietta.
Which other countries Damietta is present?
The countries Damietta is present.
Two types of peace.
Two types of peace. Five elements of AVP, which are
Affirmation,
affirmation, communication, cooperation,
Think before you react.
think before you react, trust, building community of trust, transforming power, expect what? Forgive, expect the best. Expect the best. Now, one thing is to mix. When you talk about elements of AVP, we are really talking about elements of transforming power, which are 5, right? When you talk about affirmation communication, we are talking about the building blocks. You remember? The building blocks of AVP. Sasa, penye ilikuwa affirmation, communication, cooperation, community, build on trust. Alafu ya mwisho ilikuwa gani? Conflict resolution, si ndio? Na wakati tuliongelea the building blocks, we call them the building blocks, they are the themes of alternative to violence. Wakati tuliongelea tulirify kitu kama nini, our metaphor? A volcano. And that was the reason of us using volcano. Huh?
Because of the eruption. And you can't handle it well in the earth.
I think it is because before, sometimes are not just abruptly. Before it erupts, it has taken time to boil down there. Until now, it reaches a time when it has boiled enough, and that's when now it's boiled, now erupting to be seen on the surface. But before it's seen on the surface, it will still underground, boiling. So, in relation to the conflicts, before maybe you see people quarreling, there might have been an issue before. There was a moving on underground. It had not been dealt with until now it reached a point of maybe a point of no return. That's when now you find that people now start reacting.
People decide to react. Sindio? Na tukagree hapa jana vizuri sana. Sisi wote ni we have the capability of doing what? Killing. Depending on how much we keep inside us, it always gets a time when enough is enough and we have to hit. And then when we want to hit, we hit so badly that the damage here inakuwa mbaya. Si tulisikizana hivyo? And why? Because to ignore the importance of our relationship with all the 5 themes. Tuko pamoja? Then I went ahead and said, hizi vitu zinalipuka huku juu. Zinaitwaje kwa triangle? Target.
Direct violence.
Direct violence. Si ndio? Na tukasema for us to have direct violence, kuna zile zenye ziko chini hatuzioni. Ni gani?
Cultural.
Violence and structural violence. Ndio? Can I ask a question? Can you give me at least 2 examples of cultural violence and structural violence? FGM, wife battery. Hata huko kwetu Nyeri kuna husband battery. Cattle rustling. Unaona yenye inatendeka Baragoi? Yeah? Ni kitu yenye people believe they have to fight because in their culture warriors are made out of that. Sindio? Na example ya structural violence, corruption. Ingine? Unequal distribution of resources. Tumeishi tukisema tribe fulani imekuwa favored. Do you think that's not violence? What caused 2007 violence, if I ask you? Ile vita 2007, is it true Kibaki aliiba kura? Hatujui, si ndio? But ukiangalia systems na structures, is it true to blame huyo? Because we had structures that ziko na weakness, tumefeel ni kama tumesukumwa. Because, okay, let's agree it's true Kibaki aliiba kura, si ndio? Huyu Mkikuyu jirani yangu ana uhusiano gani na Kibaki? Kwa nini ndio nilipiga? Kwa sababu ni Mkikuyu. Kwa nini? Are you seeing where I'm going? Yes. Tunaona penye naenda. Tulilipuka. Tulikuwa volcano tukafanya nini? Tukalipuka. That is why it's even difficult for ICC kusimama niseme Uhuru ulifanya makosa, Maruto ulifanya makosa. Because hawakuwaona wakipigana. Lakini sisi kwenye tulifanya, tulilipuka. I want to tell you the truth, there are some people in Kenya who say, it's good if vita imetendeka. As a peace builder, I should be the first place to say that. And I say that. It happened, na ni vizuri ilifanya nini? Ilifanyika. So tunajijua sisi ni wakina nani. I can easily know how much pressure Kenyans are having. And like what is assumed in the world, that Kenya is a peaceful place. All the legacies zenye zinaenda East Africa, zinaenda Africa, lazima ziland Kenya ndio zitoke. Kwa sababu si hatuna matete, si tunaiba yongo. Kenya hakuna. Lakini tulifanya nini? Tuko pamoja. So kuna structural problems, tuko na cultural problems which we always zinakwanga chini ya maji, hazizungumziwi. Lakini by the end of the day, it becomes direct what? Violence. Because hiyo vitu imenyamaza huko chini, niliwaambia jana volcano, hii magma hii yenye inachemka, haitaitokea kando. It always goes katikati, na mlipuko inatokea huko. Na kitu inafanyika hiyo mawe ikipasuka, nyumba zinafunikwa, ile acidity imetoka kwa hiyo moto, ina destroy wanyama na mimea. Watu wenye wanaishi hapo wanaweza funikwa, wanafanya nini? Wafariki. Na mahali penye volcano imepasuka, imelipuka. Me have seen one. I went to Guatemala, volcano ilikuwa imelipuka some 3 years ago. But wakati tulipelekwa hapo, bado ungesikia ile mchemko wa moto. So it takes long for life to be the same. When you talk about disaster management, you're talking about the same violence that is happening. Tuko pamoja. So hata kama ni earthquake, it affects the same way. Tunasikizana? So these are the themes of AVP. This is the elements of AVP. Tuko pamoja? And then hapa tuko na what we call transforming power. My arrow is moving from there to instruct to you that this is the core. There is no existence of AVP training if we can't talk about transforming power. Because we believe transforming power, it is the inner bond of all these 5 elements. Whereby yesterday we agreed there is no supermarket you'll go to buy care for others. Do we have?
No.
There is no university that you have to go and study to get respect for self. Unless can't tangaza university, sio? Si tunakubaliana tangaza university utafunzwa utapewa hii. It's something that it is in us. It is our desire. This is what we want. And so, if you look at these 5 things, we are talking about transforming power. It's the inner ability. The inside us need to have a peaceful existence. Then we come to desires we want. If I have really to have respect, Thomas, it's me. It's a choice. When I'm talking to you, I need to look at you as a human. I need to appreciate your nature, your creation, and I need to value that to bring respect for self. And if I bring respect for self, I'll care for you. So I'll be very hesitant to hurt you. Tunaelewana? Then, from that heart desire, ya hizi vitu vitatu. Hizi za nje hizi tatu zinakuja kwa brain. Unanisikiza vizuri sana? From the heart to the brain. Whereby it is in my brain that whatever I'm doing, I'm expecting the best. Whatever I'm doing, I have to think before I react. Whatever I'm doing, I have to seek or ask for a non-violent solution. It is what my mind should be reading. And I think today Peter will take us through what are now the principles attached to these 5 elements to make the circle, the wheel ifanye nini? Tunataka leo naitaje hiyo kitu inaenda round. Mpara. Hiyo kitu inaenda round na vijiti ndani. Inaitwaje? Hii inaenda. Tire. Tire ama tire? Tire.
Tire.
Tire ama tire ama tire?
Tire.
Hiyo ya baiskeli? Si mnaiona? Si ndio? Now we want by the end of the day tukitoka hapa tuunde tire ya baiskeli. Alafu tuulize can a bicycle move without some parts of those tires? Tuko pamoja? So today we are connecting from here. Is there any question? Tuendelee? I invite Peter.
Thank you very much, Sister. We want to do one thing that some of you have already learned, and it's called adjective name game. We want to do a game that will enable us to at least affirm ourselves and have something that speak good things about ourselves. So I want you to think in this direction. First of all, what is an adjective? That is class 4. Tulitoka 3 tukapewa biro, tukacha penseli na tukajifunza adjective. What is an adjective? Class 4. Yeye kwako 8. What is an adjective? Yes, it is a word that describes a noun. And we all know noun, isn't it? Noun is name. So this is what we're going to do. Each one of us has a noun. We agree that. So I want you to choose one of your noun that you like and find an adjective that describes you positively. An adjective that describes you positively. I'll give you an example. So my noun is Peter. So what are some of the adjectives that describes me positively? And to make it easier, I want you to choose an adjective that begins with the first letter of your noun. So, I'll focus here. And normally I'm called polite. Polite is an adjective. So today, I'm going to be called polite Peter. This is describing me positively. Are we together? Yes. So, who is ready to give us their positive adjective name? Then we go round. And if you don't have, we're going to assist you to get one.
Okay. My name is Thomas, and my adjective name is Treasured Thomas.
Treasured Thomas. Treasured is something that is treasured. Are we together? So,
My adjective is social.
social check.
Civil, adjective is sweet civil.
Wow. Sweet.
My name is Flem. My adjective is
Fantastic flame.
Fantastic flame. Let us remember our adjective. We are going to do a game on using them.
Oh.
Super Sophia.
Mm.
Super Sophia. We know the meaning of super.
Yeah.
Something super.
Something nice.
Yes. We have caring Christine, cheerful Christine. Which one do you like?
Caring.
Caring Christine. Please remember your name that you've been given.
Nancy. Nice. Nancy.
So nice Nancy. Start with the adjective. Nice Nancy. Anne.
Admirable.
Admirable Anne. Joyful Jackie. Tumemaliza timu yote? Nice.
My name is Royal Ronnie.
Royal Ronnie. We repeat. Social Shake.
Sweet Simeon.
Sweet Simeon.
Humble Humphrey.
Humble Humphrey.
Joyful Jackie.
Joyful Jackie.
Fantastic flame.
Fantastic Flame.
Precious Thomas.
Precious Thomas. Polite Peter.
Polite Peter.
Gracious Grace. Trustful or trustful Tom. Trustful Tom.
Respectful Rosalie.
Respectful Rosalie.
Super Sophia.
Super Sophia.
Mischievous Mahmoud.
Mischievous Mahmoud.
Elegant Elisha.
Elegant Alicia. Merciful Magdalene. Merciful Magdalene. Caring Christine. Amani Accord.
Gentle Gertrude.
Gentle Gertrude. Yake ilikuwa hello.
Adorable.
Nice Nancy. We've been labeled with names. We've been labeled with characters, which may force us to go to the path of violence. Look around. Just look around. Unaonapo mtu mwenye anakaa mwizi hapa. Just look around. Mimi nimeona karibu watu 7. Umonako hapa mtu mwenye ukimchokoza tu kidogo anaweza kuwa msawa vita. Just look around. Mimi nishaona. Have you seen that? I'm sorry to use this. Have you seen a potential rapist here? Just look around. No. We use positive adjectives. And when we describe ourselves, despite what we've gone through in life, always we have to affirm ourselves and be positive. When I talk about polite Peter, what is polite talking? When I talk about merciful, what is merciful explaining to me and to the world? When I say I'm a man, what is that? So let us encourage ourselves and be positive when we are doing everything in this life. Looking at the example she had picked, sad Sophia. You see, that was a negative name. And a negative name will always portray you negative. But a positive name will lift you up and affirm you. Are we together? Thank you very much. Is there a question on that session? So remember your partner. So before I welcome Getty for the next session, we want to do something about just saying thank you. It is difficult. We don't like saying thank you. So this is what you're going to say. I'll say my adjective name and pass it to my friend, calling his adjective name. He's going to say, thank you, polite Peter. I am so and so. Then he passes to the second person. So that we can just learn how to say thank you. Mara mingi hatusemingi asante. Hata mama akipika chakula tamu kwa nyumba, mzee anakula tu. Anaitisha maji ananawa, anatoka. Na hiyo ndio vitu ambazo zinasababisha mzozo kwa hizi nyumba zetu. Siku yenye mama amevaa smart mweko tu asante mama wakuvaa vizuri. We don't say that. Are you together?
Yes.
So, Do we know our neighbor? The two neighbors. Ask the two neighbors. Come out now, because we may go either direction. Okay, we are going this direction. Polite Peter. Okay, I'm Polite Peter. I want to pass it to Treasures Thomas.
Thank you, Polite Peter. My name is Treasured Thomas. I want to pass it to Fantastic Flame.
Thank you. Yeah, Treasured Thomas. Fantastic film. I want to pass it to
Let's be audible. Enough.
Thank you, fantastic flame. My name is Joyful Jackie. I want to pass it to Humble Humphrey.
Thank you. My name is
Joyful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joyful. Joy. Jackie. My name is Humble Humphrey. I want to pass to Sweet Simiyu.
Thank you, Humble Humphrey. I'm Zelfa Simiyu. I'm Sweet Simiyu. I want to pass it to Excellent Edwin.
Thank you very much, Sweet Simiyu. I'm Excellent Edwin. I want to pass it to Social Shade.
Thank you, Edwin. Excellent. I want to pass to
What is your name?
my name is Sheikh. Sweet Sheikh. I want to pass it to Royal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shosho.
Sheikh.
Sheikh Shosho.
Social Sheikh.
Alright, Royal Ronnie, I want to pass it to Nice. Yeah,
Nancy.
Nice Nancy.
Thank you, Roy Ronnie. I'm Nice Nancy. Pass it to Gesture.
Thank you, Nice Nancy. I'm Gentle Getry. I pass it to Amani.
Thank you, Gentle Getry. I'm Amani Agot. I'm passing it to Erin Christine.
Thank you, Erin. I'm passing to Helen and Elisha.
Thank you, Mercy Magdalene. I'm passing to
You are
Elisha. Elegant
Elisha.
Elisha. I'm passing to Mus Kid. Muhammad.
Thank you, Alicia. I'm Mischievous Mahmoud. I want to pass it to Super Sophia.
Mimi naitwa Sofia Super. Sofia Super.
Sofia.
Napitisha kwa Rose.
Shukran, Super Sophia. Mimi ni Respectful Roslyn. Napitisha kwa Trust Tom.
Thank you. Respectful Roslyn. I'm trustful Tom. I want to pass it to Gracious.
Thank you, Trustful Tom. I'm Grace. I'm Gracious Grace. I'm passing to Polite Peter.
Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Nafikiri tumejifunza how to affirm ourselves. Remember, all of us by the end of today, I want to take the program back to get Ria Giza. Not unless if there's a question.
Now, we are going to just do a talk on a very interesting topic. Making friends with conflict. friends with conflict. It might not be necessary to write because it's just an open discussion. We want to understand how do you define conflict and how do you make conflict to be our friend in this society whereby we can avoid. I want to really know if this group is a group that is saying, I think we can get rid of conflict. And I'll start up with our attitudes about conflict in our daily life. If I ask questions like, how many people in this room like conflict? By show of hand. Watu wangapi wanapenda conflict? By show of hand. Mimi nimeinua yangu. Watu wangapi wanapenda conflict? Usifanye kwa sababu getu yamefanya. Fanya kwa sababu mna reason na hiyo. Haya, how many people would like to see a world without conflict? Inua tu vizuri ni kuona. How many people would like to see a world without conflict? Thank you. How many of us watch television, see movies, or go to cinemas in our life? Like let's say a month. Wangapi watch television a month? Now, from those three questions, would you have watched the television, gone to movie, if it had no conflict?
Before you go further, I want to suggest something. Can you changanya?
Kiswahili na Kizungu. Sawa, hiyo ni vizuri sana.
Yes.
Nauliza, watu wangapi wamewatch television, watch movie ama cinema? Tuna watch, si ndio? Tungeenda kwa hizo television ama kwa movie kuziwatch kama zingekuwa na conflict. Tungeweza kuwatch hizo television kama zingekuwa na conflict. Okay, uzuri kuna media people hapo watatuambia. When a movie setup inaundwa ama play inatengenezwa, huyo mtu ambaye anaunda anajua anataka kupata attention yako, si ndio? For you to say iko rated D level, watasema hii movie ilikuwa mzuri kwa sababu Amani Ann alichukia bibi mke mwenza, akaleta vita, mwishowe mke mwenza alirudi akapenda watoto wake, hakubagua. Amani Ann akakufa. Hiyo iko na conflict ama ina?
Iko nayo.
Na wakati tunaona movie inakuja in two categories. Kuna ile movie ambayo tutaiona mwisho inaisha kama tragedy. Na mostly ikisha kama tragedy, it means the hero ama ule master player kwa hiyo movie amefanya nini? Amekufa, si ndio? That is now what we call sad ending. Sasa hiyo unalala unaanza kutafakari. Sasa si angeishi tuone nini angefanya, si ndio? Na kuna movie nyingine ya pili hii ambayo itaisha na a happy ending. Inaisha na comedy ama na drama. Tunapata by the end of the day waliwekea Peter dawa ya mapenzi, but alikuja mwisho akaoa mwenye anampenda na roho yake, na haikutumika madawa. Tunaelewana? Hapo nasema imeisha vizuri. Now it's bringing back to the question of making friends with conflict. Kunda urafiki na conflict. Hii ni kama drama. Ni kuchagua kwetu. Tunataka maisha yetu ikuwe kama movie ambayo inaisha as a tragedy, ama maisha yetu ikuwe kama movie ambayo inaisha kama comedy. Mnanielewa? Whereby tuko tayari kukua challenged na conflict and we live strong to live and change. Ama tunataka ile maisha yenye itakuwa bila conflict na tuko tu flat.
I think life with conflict, it makes us to learn more and to be more strong.
Ongea kwa kusikia.
Nasema maisha ambayo unapitia ukiwa na hiyo ups and down conflict inakufanya unakuwa more strong na you learn more. Now I prefer life with conflict.
You now prefer life with conflict.
Yeah.
Kuna mtu ambaye kwa maisha yake anaweza avoid conflict. Number one, tukiongea jia talks za conflict, tunasemanga kitu ambacho lazima tukubali ni conflict is natural, ni ya kawaida. Conflict is neutral, haichagui tajiri wala maskini, kilema ama mzima. Alafu conflict iko normal, ni part of life. When I talk about conflict, let us differentiate conflict na violence. Hizi maneno mbili niandike hapo. Let us differentiate between conflict na violence, because right now naangalia nasema making friends with conflict. Mahatma Gandhi alisema for a life to have social change we have to make friends with conflict. Kuunda urafiki na conflict inamaanisha attitude yako inatakana ikue ajani yenye haiishi na tragedy, lakini ikue ajani ambayo mwishowe itakuwa comedy. Wanga anasema siku hizi watu wakufa wanaandikaje hapo chini? Rest in peace. Ingine siku hizi wamekuja na ingine.
Life well lived.
Life well lived. Siku hizi ndio imekuja. Unajua pia tunaona trend ya message. So what do they define by life well lived? Siku hizi Wakatoliki wamekuja na wimbo. Hii wimbo hata sisi naona hata Wakristo tunaanza kuimba. Nimevipiga vita vilivyo vizuri. Ndika mnajua hiyo wimbo. Imani nimelinda, upendo nimeumaliza, imani nimelinda. Now look at that song. I like that person. Kama alikuwa facilitator wa MVP natakana nimtafute. One, ilikuwa kuna mwendo na kuna imani. Na baada anasema hapo nimevipiga. Unaona hizo keywords? What does that mean? How do we make friends with conflict in a society now? The more tunasema tunataka kuishi kwa world without conflict, tunajinyima the realistic life of looking at conflict and humanity. Tunaelewana? Tunajinyima kukua hiyo ya utu. Kwa sababu baba upende usipende, ukishafika miaka 18, uende miaka 21, unaitwa baba, si ndio? Wakati unaitwa baba, conflict imeanza. Sio tuwe na mke. Hao watoto wanataka kusoma, kichwa yako inaumia. Huku nyumba anataka kula, lazima umeingia wapi? Ndiposa pastor wangu alisema akibatiza mtoto, Daniel, tunakukabidhi mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Umekuja kwa dunia ya mateso. You see, because mtoto asikii, lakini already ana recognize the fact that these are the challenges you are going to meet. So we are looking at, as we are going to discuss today, the question should be not to avoid conflict, mzee. Sheikh, hatutaki ku avoid conflict. Swali kubwa leo tunataka tujifunze ni tuulizane ni jinsi ipi tunataka tukabiliane na mizozo ambayo inatendeka kwa maisha yetu. Be it personal, intra or inter. Ile ya kibinafsi ama ya kikundi. Ni nini ambavyo vinachangia mizozo ambayo tunaweza kabiliana na sasa ikuwe ni maisha ya kusema humble, mimi nataka kutembea nipite kwa hii vita. Kuliko kusema, sitaki vita, nipatie, hakuna dunia itaunda yenye haina vita. Lakini tunaweza unda dunia yenye haina. Tumeelewana? This is natural. I normally say 3N. It is neutral. It is normal. You like it or not, it exists.
Yeah. So our daily bread.
I don't know more about the Islamic or Hinduism or what, but if I go to Christianity, even Jesus himself, surely. Tuonge tu kweli. Tuonge tu kweli. Ile Biblia yetu inatuambia nini? Kutoka mwanzo wa Adamu, hii laana iliwekwa. So, if Jesus himself alipigwa hizo vichapo kwa sababu yangu na wewe, how do I want to avoid this? Unanielewa? What I'm saying is, humanity has been brought to this world. And humanity has to meet challenges. And that is the only way this good Catholic alisema, imani nimelinda. Am I talking something? Yes. It's how can you now deal, it's your faith and your belief versus the conflict that is there. How do you pass the hurdles? without causing violence. Ngaja siku hizo tena tunaingia hata wakora. Hata tukitoa mtu wetu huko Bungoma Busia, alitoka kwa Al-Shabaab na kumataka tujipa tu wimbo. Amejipiga vita. Kwa sababu sisi hatuna maneno, ni vita zake, si ndio? But the question will be, let us make friends with conflict. How do we make friends with conflict? And today's agenda should lead us into questions. I hope Elisha will ask me a question. Is, now, how do I confront this conflict so that it doesn't lead to violence? That is now the question. But it will be unrealistic if we stay in this room today saying that tunataka tusome ili tutoe conflict kwa dunia. Tunataka vizuri kweli? Yes. So any question, any suggestion, any addition? I'm sitting down.
To illustrate how we can live with conflict. Before I ventured into peace building, I was a social worker doing things with reproductive health and the challenges we have. And I remember my facilitator teaching me about HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS is like conflict. You have to live with it. I'm just using not a good example, but just allow me to use it. If you accept and acknowledge this is my situation, I've been brought in this world, nimepata hii vita iko, hii vita si yangu. I cannot start eating this Luo because I'm a Luya. I cannot start eating this Masai because I'm a Kikuyu. But how can we coexist? How can we come together as a society with our weaknesses and our strength so that we can move to the next level? Kuna watu saizi anapigana na mtoto ya mjomba kwa sababu babu ya babu aliua babu yake kwa shamba. Na umezaliwa juzi, kuna 27 years. Ushaingia kwa conflict yenye hata hujui toka wapi. You become part of it. You are following it. Umeishikilia. So today we want to break the chains. We want to break the vicious circle of violence. Tunataka tuvunje kile kitu ambacho ile yenye mama amepiga baba, baba amepiga mtoto, mtoto amelinga umbwa, umbwa imeuma baba, baba ndio tena, tutoke kwa hiyo. We need to break so that we move ahead, and that is why we are here today. Thank you, Father.